Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I decided to tell you another Zodiac story, and this one is really my last year in high school. There was a teacher that liked me. Now, before all you ultra conservatives go nuts about they can't do that, it's illegal, let's put her in jail, I want you to know that she was tortured and is dead now, and has been for many years. But it just so happens I turned my birthday's in January, so I turned 18 in the middle of my senior year. And the dean called me in one day and told me that how come I don't have a girlfriend. And I told him, I don't know, every time I meet a girl she disappears. He goes, yeah, I've noticed that. We're missing some girls from this school. At first we thought it was you, but we know where you're at all the time, and we can't figure out what's going on. And I mentioned to him that there were some guys I met in Mexico City that might be following me around, and one of them said he was a Zodiac Killer. He just freaked out. The dean goes, a Zodiac Killer here in my school? And I've seen these guys walking the halls and looking in windows and watching what I was doing, and if I was talking to a girl, that girl would disappear. Well, there was this one teacher, I think her name was Miss Jones, if I can remember right. She was real pretty and she was young and she liked me. And the dean even told me that they were considering letting me date her because I was already an adult and school was going to be out soon anyway. Well, when school was out, she invited me to a picnic type thing of teachers. And we were there getting something to eat or whatever. They barbecued or whatever. And this pretty teacher, I said something to her, probably inappropriate, knowing me. And she told me to go sit down and basically shut up. So I sat down. I was kind of like hurt, and Frank Morris walks over to me with the Anglin brothers. I didn't recognize him at the time. He was just, like some guy walked over and said, hey, man, I heard what she said to you. And I go, yeah. And he goes, kind of hurt you, didn't it? And I go, yeah. And he goes, no, he said, kind of hurt your feelings, didn't it? And I go, yeah, it did. And he goes, well, don't worry about it. We're going to take care of her. Made me think he was a teacher because he looked a lot like the dean of the school that I went to. And I was like, well, okay. And I don't know, I'm sitting there on the bench where she told me to stay, and I saw her go to her car. And, her car is sitting here. There's another car here. And I see her walk over to the front door of her car. She's on the other side of the car where I can only see her head. I think she unlocked the door, and these guys closed in on her. And I could see Frank or one of them open up his shirt, and I'm assuming they showed her a gun, made her think they were the FBI, and probably told her that she was going to go to jail for being there with me, even though I was an adult and it didn't matter anymore. And next thing I know, I saw her head go down and theirs went down, and the car drove off. They got in, they put her in the car, and they drove off with her, never to be seen again. The next day, the dean calls me in, or Monday morning anyway, the dean calls me in and says, what happened out there, David? And I told him what I just told you. And he goes, they said they're going to take care of her? And I go, yeah. He got really scared. And when I mentioned the thing about the Zodiac Killer following me around, he was like, the Zodiac Killer here in my school? He just really got stressed out. And I told him, I said, those guys that keep going around here dressed like maintenance men and janitors and everything, you need to start paying more attention to them. Now, I want you to know something. When I went to high school, junior high school, elementary school, they didn't have fences around schools. They didn't have security guards. They didn't have any security officers of any kind, and the only time the police went there was during a riot. Doesn't that sound crazy? No security for the kids? But things were different back then. It wasn't something you had to worry about, especially in Florida. And a lot of kids paid for it with their lives. And I got another story about a kid when I was in the second grade, and another story about a girlfriend I had when I was 15 and she was 15. And at the same time, I had another teacher who liked me, and they all three paid with their lives, and torture and murder and everything. I'll see how many likes I get on this video and how many people watch it, and I'll consider trying to tell you all the stories of all the different times that they've attacked me throughout my life, because I've been able to remember all of them now that, you know, I wrote my book and I've done some research and looked at pictures. The key was when I first started looking at pictures of Frank and the Anglin brothers, John Anglin particularly, because he's the one that always attacked me. You know, I start seeing his picture and seeing his picture. I'm like, that's the guy that came after me in one place, and that's the guy that came after me in the other place, and the other place, and the other two were with him. You know, one over here, one over there, and that's the extent of the whole thing. And you know, I don't know. Geez, I'd like to have just one of those girlfriends to see what it would be like to grow old with her. Hope that helps you.